Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We're your hosts Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how you doing this week? I take it you're doing better than Chris Rock right now.
Actually, no, I'm not doing better than Chris Rock. His show sales have skyrocketed. Actually,
You're telling me you're not making multi-million-dollar deals this week?
oh, absolutely, he is.
Oh yeah, no, you're not. So I guess you are having a worse than
Oh
Chris
no,
Rock. My bad. Well,
I'm still chilling
okay,
after all this time.
yeah. Well, unlike Hollywood, which was not chilling Sunday night on their biggest night of the year, but hey, leave it to Will Smith crash party. Obviously, we will be talking about Will Smith and the Chris Rock incident in this episode, but the focus, unlike what ABC forgot to focus on for the rest of the show, is the Oscars, the winners, the
Yep.
losers. So we'll
The
keep it simple.
controversies.
We'll get to the controversies. I'll just name off a couple categories: who won, what we think, maybe who should have won, blah 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 blah, and then we'll finish up with Will Smith, Chris Rock. What the hell happened? So I guess let's start off with a bang. This Best Picture was Coda. The reason this is significant, this is the first time a streaming service or streaming platform has won Best Picture. Apple TV Plus is celebrating up and down for only spending $25 million to buy this film at Sundance. Meanwhile, Netflix is in a corner drinking itself to death because they have spent hundreds of millions of dollars over the past few years and have gotten nothing. No Best Picture win. Mike, what do you think?
Well, let's break it down. Like Netflix, they put out a lot of their original.
They do.
So I kind of understand why they haven't seen anything, because what was their biggest movie? The Irishman.
The Irishman, and a few years ago, Roma was a big shot. I had a big chance of winning, and I believe it even won Best International Film, but it didn't win Best Picture.
Yeah.
I think the issue for Netflix, though, at least from their point of view, is like they've now consistently been nominated every single year. And some years, like this year, they had two: Don't Look Up and The Power of the Dog. So some years they have multiple contenders and they still don't win.
Someone's always better.
I mean, and also I do understand their point of view. Like the year Green Book won, you're telling me they didn't have a movie that year that couldn't beat Green Book?
Yeah, Green Book was definitely an interesting movie, but
it's a movie.
No, this this definitely says a lot about where the Oscars is kind of going. So they're now more accepting, because before, they're like, all right, fine, we'll give you a nomination, but the streaming service has never won before, so this kind of makes it a little bit more serious.
Yeah.
So,
which I think is good, because if a lot of money is being funneled into building up these streaming services from all different studios, like these aren't just the outsiders like Apple and Netflix. You have HBO Max originals. You have Hulu originals, which is what the 20th Century Fox, or now just 20th Century, is focused on. Disney Plus originals. At some point, Hollywood's going to have to recognize their own films.
Yep.
So yeah, but yeah, it turns out. And look, I did not have this on my bingo card for this year, and in movie business, like Apple TV Plus gets a Best Picture nom, but a win, really. My bad. As for who I thought should have won, I saw most, not all of them. I was more maybe Dune should have won. I guess that's just me, or Nightmare Alley. Like I'm not upset Don't Look Up or The Power of the Dog didn't win. I thought those films were only okay. Like I'm not sitting here saying Netflix deserved to win.
Yeah, no, they definitely didn't. Because I feel like Don't Look Up.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of understand why Nightmare Alley didn't get it. Because Nightmare Alley certainly is not for everyone. And
I didn't expect it to get it. It's just if it was my choice, it'd be my second pick. But I understand why they didn't vote for it. A noir drab film, 2.5 hours,
that really takes its time telling its story.
Yeah,
which
period piece, 40s, 50s. Like I understand it didn't win over the Academy.
Yeah, and it honestly didn't feel like anything groundbreaking either.
Yeah, at least. See, here's the thing though. I didn't even know about this. Coda, for as much love as it's getting, it's deserved. It's a remake. There was a French film apparently from 2014 that had a similar premise of a family of deaf people, and there's one sibling who isn't deaf, and then like, where does that go? This film blew my mind, and that's a fucking remake.
So a remake just got an Oscar. This is
Yes,
groundbreaking.
this is also
This is a
groundbreaking.
whole new world of
So you're
cinema.
telling me all these superhero remakes over the next few decades, they got a chance? You're telling me the
Better.
Batman has a chance?
Better. Halloween Ends has a chance.
I mean, let's not get too crazy here, okay?
All right, yeah, I'm pushing it. I definitely am.
All right, we're gonna settle with Mobius. Has a chance.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Keep your
So, moving on from Best Picture. Besides Coda, getting a couple big wins. Best Picture, Best Supporting Actor. Troy Kotsur won for Coda. Best Supporting Actor. First time a deaf actor has won the award. So again, for Coda, more history was made there.
fun fact.
Yes.
He was also in Star Wars.
Really?
Yep. In the
which
Book
one?
of Boba Fett.
Oh, okay.
Do you want to take a guess who it was?
Did he look like himself, or is he like dressed up as an alien?
Oh, he's dressed up all right.
Cad Bane.
No. Tusken Raider.
Huh. I didn't know. That is a fun fact.
Indeed.
International film Drive My Car was expected to win, and it won. That's not a surprise. There's a lot of praise for that.
Yeah, there definitely was.
Best Director, Jane Champion for Power of the Dog. Again, that wasn't a shock. My shock is that Denis Villeneuve was not even nominated. Going into that,
yeah, that's interesting.
It is interesting, and a couple people called it out on Sunday because Dune won most of the awards. It won 6 Oscars. If we're going by pure numbers, it's the winner. And the thing is, it won a lot of technical awards, and you would think logically, if there's a lot of technical wins, the director had a hand in making sure all that ran to some degree.
Yeah.
So if you're getting Best Picture, like it was nominated for Best Picture, it won Best Sound, Best Editing, Best Cinematography. You're telling me, Denison in the corner reading a book? I don't know.
Yeah, and the movie was pretty solid.
Yeah, no, by itself, it's a good movie. Now I do wonder if they're waiting to see if part 2 is good. If part 2 is good, they'll show them the love. But
yeah, but why not show them the love for what is good? Why are you waiting?
I agree with you. I think you should at least got a nomination. Yeah, like Steven Spielberg was nominated for West Side Story. He's got enough wins and nominations. Come on.
Yeah, and I mean, let's be honest, it's a very political game.
Yeah. Talk about a political game. Best animated feature was Encanto, which, well deserved. It beat 2 other Disney films, a Sony film, competition, and then an independent film. But it's just really hard contest for the studio.
Yeah, Disney just has such an unfair advantage when it comes to animated films.
Yeah, you got 2 major studios with Disney and Pixar. I would like to thank my competitors over at fellow Pixar. Sorry, maybe you guys will win for Lightyear next year.
Yeah, think about that.
It does get Disney to a point where they just pass the Oscar back and forth from Disney to Pixar.
It's ridiculous.
Which does make the Spider-Man win a few years ago real special.
Oh yeah,
not just a superhero film, but a non-Disney film winning it.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
And it was such a different style of artwork that we really haven't seen that much in an animated film.
Mm-hmm. Which I've now actually noticed. I don't know if you've probably not, but the new Puss in Boots trailer for the sequel coming out this year is taking some of that style. So DreamWorks is starting to integrate some of that into their work.
Huh.
Yeah. It's not full-blown into the Spider-Verse, but you can tell it's influenced.
Interesting.
I would say overall, grand schemes, besides the controversy, which we'll talk about in a minute, there was no big surprise at the Oscars. There was no upset. Best original song, No Time to Die. Are you shocked?
Yeah, no, we all knew. We all knew.
That song's been out for almost 2 years now. We know it was the Oscar was waiting.
Yeah. You know what's so crazy about that? A lot of the James Bond soundtrack gets nominated. Like anytime there is, the original song usually gets nominated.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe not for Quantum of Solace.
Yeah, I mean, I thought the song was right, it's not not the best song. It ain't no Skyfall and ain't no Time to Die, and definitely no Casino Royale.
That's a fact. But
So-
we're not here to go on about James Bond.
Yeah, no. So no big surprise. Even Will Smith winning, he was expected. He was going to win with Benedict
Yeah.
Cumberbatch being a distant second, and even Coda winning. Up until the past month, in the award circuit, everyone expected Power of the Dog to win, and in the past month, it kind of switched to Coda being 50-50. So there's no surprise. Like if West Side Story won Best Picture, that'd be a shock.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, for the actual awards, what we expected, what we got. What we didn't expect was Will Smith slapping the shit out of Chris Rock over a G.I. Jane joke. He did have to go back on stage 15 minutes later because he did win Best Actor for the first time in his career. And he went on in a speech about how, love makes him do crazy things. The person he portrayed, the Williams father, is a staunch defender of family, clearly trying to give himself a little bit of an out. And then after all this, we wrapped up. He disappeared for a few hours and went to the Vanity Fair Oscar party and danced with his family and his Oscar. So, Mike, considering you were not watching the Oscars live, and I was not either, I was watching it live via Twitter. What was your first reaction to this?
I was like, wow, that's interesting. There's always something that happens at the Oscar lately. Like,
Yeah.
There's always some type of controversy behind it. It's kind of like a staple in the Oscars history at this point. You know what I mean?
I did think the La La Land Moonlight mixed up. I thought that was going to be the biggest Oscar fail in history, and then was it 4 years later they topped themselves?
Yep. They're consistently one-upping themselves, so you gotta give them A for effort. Now, I did notice something kind of interesting at the beginning, right? When you see it, Chris Rock makes the joke, and Will Smith kind of is laughing, and then you kind of see a look from like Jada, and then all of a sudden Will Smith changes.
Yeah.
Did you notice that?
It kind of seemed like he was laughing a bit at the joke as well. But
in the beginning, and then it switched.
Jada right off the bat was like shaking her head a little bit, like she wasn't pleased about it. I was kind of shocked. I don't even think the slap is the worst part, because he just did the one slap and sat down. Him cursing at the top of his lungs. I watched the uncensored video. That's a bad look.
Very bad.
Because he did a slap, spun around, sat down, keep us cool. Then nope.
You could have played off the slap after the fact, after maybe talk things over with Chris Rock.
Because he could have slapped and then sat back down laughing and be like, "Oh, it's a joke" or whatever. But nope. Keep my wife's name out of your fucking mouth. Like, okay, you're legitimately pissed.
Like, dude, it was a G.I. Jane joke.
That's a top tier response right there.
Good on Chris Rock for not throwing hands right on the spot.
Yeah, I saw this comment online, and if Chris Rock said something like this, he would be top tier comedian of all time. He'd be like, "See, this is why he didn't win for Ali."
Damn.
Like Will Smith is lucky Chris Rock took the high road. He could have just stopped the show, went on a 5-minute roast on Will Smith, and then bounced.
Yeah.
But he stayed professional. He told him he wouldn't do it anymore and moved along.
He definitely handled it very fucking well.
He did. And I congratulate him on his future HBO or Netflix mega deal for his comedy special.
Absolutely. Yeah, that was definitely odd.
And the thing is, we're not done. We're not done with this at all. Came out today. It came out yesterday. The Academy said that they're giving Will Smith formal notice. Because again, the Academy is a legitimate organization where you have to be a member to get the screenings for the Oscar films, to vote for the Oscar films, and most people are a member. He may be kicked out. He may be suspended. The Academy will be having a meeting on April 18th to determine if any punishment will happen. They also claimed they asked him to leave, and he refused.
I heard that.
And now it's coming out today. Sources are saying to TMZ that he was not asked to leave. So this is over the next month or so. It's going to get very dirty, very quick. Who he said, she said, what actually happened. I wouldn't be surprised if this becomes a full-blown investigation. Bradley Cooper and Denzel Washington was also there as well. Like they were consoling Will Smith, getting him to calm down. They might be asked, what exactly was said, exchange of words.
Well, I
Not
don't
that they're in
really
trouble or
know.
anything, but like just to get a clear picture, because we only see the faraway footage of them talking or hugging, and now we're getting conflicting information.
Conflicting based off of the Academy and Will Smith, though.
Well, the Academy and technically TMZ,
Right.
but we'll see. Will Smith right now hasn't said he was told to leave. He refused to leave. He, like a bitch, gave an Instagram post apologizing to Chris Rock and has stayed silent since. I don't think he'll be kicked out, possibly suspended for a year or two. Like you're not invited back to the Oscars for a year or two. Like some. I
Yeah.
think there'll be some kind of punishment, but he ain't getting kicked out. It's Will Smith.
No.
As much as he
That's
should
why-
be for unprofessional behavior like that. Like you have millions around the world watching this, and this is like you could not compose yourself. But
Yeah, that's why I think they probably didn't even ask him to leave. They're probably like, "Fuck, it's Will Smith. Like we
Well,
can't."
it's going to be awkward because usually, if you win Best Actor or Best Actress, you come back the next year as the presenter for the alternative. So technically, he gets the invitation next year to present Best Actress.
And
Will they even
might
keep?
not.
They might not. They
They
might
might
just throw
not.
someone else in there.
Yeah.
It's not the biggest deal. No one's really going to care. And again, that's one of the smaller facts about the Oscars. Most people don't know.
Correct.
So, yeah, it was definitely shocking. It was definitely, I think, embarrassing for Will Smith, and I think embarrassing for the Oscars in general.
Yeah, it's definitely not a good look.
Case in point, did you know that right after this, Chris Rock handed out an Oscar to the best documentary? No one's talking about them.
No,
No one even knows they won an Oscar.
I sure as hell didn't.
Yeah. And you would think Coda, Apple TV Plus, should be earth-shattering news, right? Changing of the guard. Streaming services are becoming more important. And what are we talking about 2 days later? Well, the Academy
Will
said
Smith
this
thing.
about the slap, and
Yeah.
they said this about the slap. It was like, it's still the slap.
Yeah, which really takes away from all the hard work that
A lot of people.
everyone involved in making the movies and everything behind the scenes they really did. So it is a shame that this happened.
And even if they don't win, you're there to celebrate, party, and celebrate all the work everyone did, even just the nominees, and
Absolutely.
not a peep. So it's definitely a black mark on the Oscars this year. And what's sad is the viewership might go up next year, not because people care about the movies from next year, just because they want to see a possible fight happen.
Yeah, I doubt anything like that will happen again.
No, I don't think so. But it's sad that like if the viewership numbers go up next year, it's not going to be because people care about the Oscars. They're like, well, I don't want to miss the fight if there is one.
So let me ask you a question. You think next year they might have security before, like in front of the stage a little bit? Some form of it?
I don't think so. When I got to thinking about this, I think security didn't move in on Will Smith because we don't know if security is told ahead of time what the skits are. Because this year they brought back skits with the host. They brought back host.
Yeah.
If security wasn't aware of the skits, they might not be sure this was a skit. And to be fair, if that's the case, I understand security not making a move. I'm not going to risk my career tackling Will Smith and turns out I ruined the skit and I'm fired. Right? Like who's going to go up there and tackle Will Smith?
That really is such a, like, what do you do in that situation?
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, fuck.
So I think going forward, if security was not told, security going forward will be told, hey, these are the official skits and these are the actors that will make surprise appearances. If anyone else decides to show up and they're not on this list, you are free to tackle them. Because if I was security in that situation and I didn't know what skits were going on beforehand, I wouldn't do anything. Because it was one slap, he sat down. You don't know if it's an act.
It's true.
And if you tackle Will Smith and you lose your job, he's still filing a lawsuit against you.
Oh yeah, regardless. That's why I think there won't be a tackle.
Well, even not a tackle, like grab him by the arm, right? Try and drag him out. Like, do you want that on the image? Like, you're going to be world famous for that. That's the guy who dragged Will Smith away.
Yeah, but who doesn't want to be known as the guy who dragged Will Smith away? I feel like that's
true, but I think security will be more aware of what is going to happen during the show.
Yeah, I feel like they would have said something though. Like, how do you not?
Well, I hope this comes down in the investigation. If the Academy says security wasn't aware of the events, or maybe they admit they knew what was supposed to happen, what didn't, and they got scared. Probably not, but I feel like I hope the public gets some better information about what's happening, because we're still in the dark about a lot of this.
This is true because it's really none of the public's opinion, or
Business.
yeah,
Well, I think when you're live streaming it around the world, it kind of does become our business. You want us to pay attention to these films and these actors and care.
True.
This is a culmination of Hollywood's work for the past year. You want us to care, and you want to get people
True.
to care. You can't be like, well, this is a private matter now. No, he just bitch slapped Chris Rock. It's a slap heard around the world. We need answers. Most people know Will Smith as a funny, calm, cool guy, and he just lost his shit.
Well, it's been a rough year or two for Mr. Smith.
It has been, but
You think that plays some type of role because he's been in the public eye for a good amount of time now, and not in necessarily a good way.
No. But again, he has over the past 20, 30 years, he's built up a nice family friendly image for himself.
True.
Like if you imagine parents watching, that's probably not many people, but like 6, 7-year-old kids, maybe they've seen some of like the friendlier Will Smith films, and they just see that happen, and their ABC is bleeping out him cursing. Like, how do you respond to that?
Yeah. Hey, Tyler, here's my question.
Mm-hmm.
If the Oscars is live, how do they bleep it out?
Well, it's like a 7-second delay.
That's true.
Movie magic.
Yep. TV magic, actually.
You telling me it was all staged? They knew when to bleep it?
Just kidding. But I think all in all, that's our thoughts surrounding the Oscars, the winners, the losers, the controversies. I guess my final question is, what did everyone else think about the Oscars this year? Or were you really looking forward to it? Or were you kind of like myself and indifferent? The Oscars was kind of what it is. But as always, feel free to let us know at Entertainment Expansion. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Thank you for listening.